Ladies and gentlemen, the following non-title contest is a 4-man gauntlet match. Introducing first, he weighs in tonight at 326 pounds, and he is the current Gen Television Champion, Kane. Kane's set for a nostalgia trip here tonight. The man's already defended his title successfully against Razor Ramon. He'll face a new challenger later on this week. But that's not enough for the Big Red Machine. He wants to destroy every single individual in the wrestling world. He's going to be taking on 3 superstars here tonight in a gauntlet match. A flashback to the 1980s, the golden era. Kane certainly doesn't view it that way. He wants to destroy 3 legends tonight. Title not on the line, but very important. Kane gets the win. Can the Big Red Machine pull off another victory? What should be here a massive, massive nostalgic contest. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing his second participant. Hailing from Memphis, Tennessee, and weighing in tonight at 243 pounds, the Honky Tonk Man. Well, the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. The Honky Tonk Man, and these 2 men have previous. Does anybody remember the 2001 Royal Rumble? The Honky Tonk Man would have killed Kane if he had the opportunity. Just wanted to sing his song first. Kane smashing the guitar over his head and throwing him, dumping him out. Score to be settled here, and the Honky Tonk Man thinks he can settle it here tonight against Kane. Remember, there's 4 entrants in this, so there's 2 more opponents to come out. Whoever wins the contest between Kane and the Honky Tonk Man will immediately face another opponent. The winner of the match will be whoever's the final man standing. The 2 men now engaging in a collar and elbow tie-up. The Honky Tonk Man looking for revenge on Kane. Tries to win out in that lock-up exchange, but unsurprisingly at 326 pounds, Kane with a big power advantage and just knocking the Honky Tonk Man down. Greatest intercontinental champion of all time, really struggling here as Kane just slams the back of his head right into the canvas, and the Big Red Machine certainly not in the mood for any shake, rattle and roll tonight. And a big time uppercut, and Kane just really going to work on the Honky Tonk Man. The greatest Elvis impersonator in professional wrestling history, not having a good time of it at the moment, and Kane saying he's going to finish the match now. And he could very well do a dominant performance thus far. Kane really throwing those heavy blows to the abdomen of the Honky Tonk Man, who looks completely defenseless at the moment. Well, that wasn't known. Counters the big boot, catches the foot, and now look at the Honky Tonk Man going to work on the Big Red Machine, choking him against that middle rope. A very crafty and cunning competitor is the Honky Tonk Man, and now look at this taking a moment. Very happy with his handiwork there. Should have kept his eyes on the prize, allowing Kane the opportunity to regain control. Sends him into the corner, and a big right hand to the head, back elbow, and another right hand. The Honky Tonk Man really being worked over now by the Big Red Machine as he has him down in the corner. Just using that size 16 boot to inflict damage right across the top of the head. Honky Tonk Man in real trouble here as the Big Red Machine, the big 7-footer, picks him up with a nice shoulder breaker. Honky Tonk Man looks to be out of this match the way it's going. Thunderous hip toss by the Big Red Machine. And what's Kane going to go for here? 2 hands around the throat, picks him up and drops him. The back of his head just nailed the canvas once again, and now Kane with his hand around the throat. Up goes the Honky Tonk Man, and down he comes, the choke slam. The Honky Tonk Man maybe eliminated here, maybe going home early as the Big Red Machine picks him up. He has him in position. Spikes his head into the canvas with a vicious tombstone pile driver. The Honky Tonk Man maybe going back to the dressing room, and Kane victorious. He'll face another 80s challenger. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the next participant. He hails from San Francisco, California, and weighs in tonight at 272 pounds, Brutus, the Barber Beefcake. With a big red machine sporting those long, luscious locks. He may go home without them tonight. Will the Barber be able to cut the hair of the big red machine? Great ovation here for Brutus. A man we never thought we'd see on the Past Gen Gaming channel. But a great competitor. Very, very good friends with Hulk Hogan was this man. He was certainly very popular in his own right. Got a chance to prove himself here tonight. Got a chance to prove that it wasn't nepotism. He's in the ring on his own merits. And look at Brutus, he's saying he's going to cut the hair of the big red machine. But he's not going to do it by taunting the big man and just angering him. As Kane really going to work now on brother Brutus. Big time uppercut and just knocks Brutus Beefcake down on the canvas. Dominant and scary, 2 words used to describe this man. Kane, an absolutely unstoppable monster, and Brutus Beefcake finding that out the hard way now as Kane sends him for the ride off the ropes. Oh, look at that though. Brutus with a reversal, that's press, and right hands to the face. Brutus Beefcake catching the big red machine by surprise, and now once again saying he's going to cut his hair. Kane saying there's absolutely no way. Brutus trying the right hand, Kane getting the block in. Kane an excellent striker and brawler, that's for sure, but look at that, comes charging in. Brutus sticking the elbow up, nice drop kick, and now Brutus Beefcake on the top rope. He's going to take down the big red machine. No, he's not, taking far too long with that double axe handle and gets nailed with a DDT, and now the big red machine, Kane going up top. The 7-footer looking to fly himself. Well, that was a poor mistake there from the big red machine, it has to be said. Completely misjudging the launch of that high risk move, coming completely short and allowing Brutus Beefcake now to take the advantage. Front face lock applied now on the canvas by Brutus Beefcake. As the big red machine for the first time in a long time looks to be in a little bit of trouble here. And I never thought Brutus Beefcake would be the man to put him in trouble. Brutus Beefcake threw a couple of shots, Kane completely not reacting him, and now Kane with a hand around the throat. He's had enough of these fun and games. Picks him up with complete ease and choke slams him. Well, it looked for a moment like Brutus Beefcake may have pulled off the upset of a century. Doesn't look likely now as Kane's nailed him with a choke slam. And now the big red machine grabbing Brutus Beefcake. Is he going to try and finish this match off here? I think he is. Picks him up, puts him in position. Well, the 80s wrestler's not doing too well tonight and gets spiked with a tombstone. Kane is really ripping through the golden era. Lateral press, shoulders down, and only one man remains now. Who will it be? And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the final participant. He hails from the Fiji Islands and weighs in tonight at 251 pounds. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. Well, you want to talk about a legend, the Superfly. One of the most exciting wrestlers of the 1980s. Set to do battle here with the Big Red Machine, the last final chance for the 80s generation to defeat this big monster. And look at Jimmy Snuka wasting no time. No formalities here. Getting straight into it. It's Jimmy Snuka going right after the Big Red Machine and completely stunning him, taking him by surprise. Jimmy Snuka throwing those jabs, not having any effect on the Big Red Machine. No one gets knocked down with a big uppercut. The right idea from Snuka is he gets sent for the ride off the ropes and a big total wall slam. That's what you've got to do. You can't be intimidated by this big monster. You've got to take the fight right to him. Kane looking to finish it there. But look at this nice roll up by Superfly. The shoulders down, the cover's made, and my God. Jimmy Snuka nearly finishing off the Big Red Machine there, but Kane quickly back to his feet with a big boot. Jimmy Snuka certainly not intimidated by the sight of this 7-foot monster. And that's the way you've got to be. Maybe now Kane's going to try and finish the match. Superfly goes behind. Now look at this. Tries to get the cover again. backslide. And once again, Kane very close to being finished off here by the legendary Superfly Jimmy Snuka. And look at that thunderous chop right to the heart. If this man even has a heart, as now Snuka sends him for the right off the ropes. Another sunset flip at this time. Too close to the ropes, having to break that pin attempt. Now trying to brawl with the Big Man Machine, a mistake in my opinion. But he gets sent into the corner. Look at that though, nice block by Superfly. Kick to the ghoulies and a nice drop kick. Kane gets back to his feet. Superfly comes from behind. Irish whip sends him off the ropes once again. Big back body drop. And Jimmy Snuka really thrilling the capacity crowd here tonight. Kane trying another move, another great counter by Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Now look at this power picking up the 300-pounder. Nice atomic drop, and Superfly looking to fly for the first time in this match. Perched on the top rope, tries the double axe handle. The Big Red Machine saw that one coming, very good counter. And now look at Kane choking him. Look at this power.
Rope break.
And the referee forcing the break. Kane too close to the ropes. Now the Big Red Machine looking to fly. Superfly gets there first though, slamming him off the top rope. And now Snuka dives off the diving headbutt. The Big Red Machine, Kane in real trouble here. As Superfly sends him into the corner, does a leapfrog. Is he going to go for the Superfly splash? Kane trying to get out of the way, gets nailed with it. And my God, the Superfly splash on the Big Red Machine. We may have a big upset here. Needs to go for the cover though. And my God, Kane. I can't believe Kane just got up from the Superfly splash. What does it take to put this monster away? And now Kane just picking up Jimmy Snuka and slamming the back of his head right into the canvas. It looked for a moment like Superfly may have been able to finish this off, this big monster, but just popping up from his finishing move. Seemingly impervious to pain is Kane as he picks him up now with that thunderous signature side slam that he executes so well. And now the Big Red Machine going up top, looking to fly himself. Jimmy Snuka slowly getting back to his feet and gets nailed with a double axe handle. And now Kane looking to put the Superfly away, looking to claim his victory here against the 80s, and drops the tombstone. Not been a good night for the 1980s legends, and the Big Red Machine Kane has proved his dominance once again, beating 3 opponents. He is your winner. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Kane. Kane still as dominant as ever. No generation can beat him. What a scary sight that human being is. If you want some great created wrestlers in your game, but without going through the lengthy process of creating them yourself, well, I can help you out with that. If you play on PS2 or PS2 emulator, I can create just for you a custom saved data file and preload it with up to 30 created wrestlers that you have chosen. If you're interested, send me an email at pastgengamingemail@gmail.com. My email is linked on the main channel page, and I can also do this for the PSP, but on PSP I can only do save files for the European version of the game.